Really good music. Alright, let's just dive right in. That's how I usually roll. So, another tier list stream. More Digimon love for the channel too, because I love this series. Right, still pretty impromptu. I've kind of just dived right in. It's just like, you know what, I feel like doing it now. Let's do it. So, my webcam probably makes me look terrible right now. I haven't done, my hair's a mess, which is why I've kind of got it like this, and it's also so you can see got my tag and crest as well, because I am a nerdy Digimon fan. But anyway, talking about that, let's get into it. So this is going to be a tier list stream of Digimon Adventure, this time dedicated to episodes. And I guess the only thing to point out before I get started is that I made this tier list myself. I searched on the website and I couldn't find one like this, so I figured, fine, I'll just do it myself. So yeah, here we are. We've got a tier list of, I'm just trying to adjust my thing here. My mic's in the way of it now, so I've just made it worse. Well, you can see it's here. I'll just have it like that, and whatever happens, happens. Anyway, let's just make some adjustments. Right. So again, yeah, let's do it. Digimon Adventure episodes. We've got every episode from Season 1. And who knows, I might do this again for Adventure 2 when we get there. Let's lower the music just in case. Right, let's get started. Every episode from Digimon Adventure. We got a basic standard layout, so let's dive right in. So right off the bat, we have the very first episode. Oh, and I guess real quick, I'll link this tier list in the description of the post upload if anyone's interested in checking it out. It'll be on the website. So yeah, and so it begins, the very first episode of Digimon Adventure. I have a lot of nostalgia for this series in general, but especially these early episodes with the Black Gears and Devimon, because I watched it so many times as a kid via the old VHS tapes. I have a lot of love for these episodes. I'm going to try and not let my nostalgia completely blind me, so I'm going to say And So It Begins should be an A tier. Perfect start to the series, introduces us to all the characters, we get to know what their basic personalities are and traits are. And yeah, we meet the Digimon. Not much else to really say though. So, the birth of Greymon. I think this episode is an S tier. I think this is a great episode. I think it's one of the best episodes in Digimon as a whole. Again, these are old, like early episodes. I can never get tired of them. They're all pretty basic when you think about it. Like after the first episode, we have like 6 episodes where it's just, you know, one Digidestined and their partner saving the day basically, but it's fine. Garurumon, another S tier for me. I like that episode a lot as well. Matt is my favourite character in Adventure, and I want to say, while he wasn't my favourite when I first watched this show as a kid, it was obviously this episode that made me fall in love with this character, so I can go in S. Biyomon gets firepower. I'll put it in A. I think it's not as strong as these two, but it still does the job of giving us more screen time with Sora and her partner Digimon Biyomon, and just again establishing what the relationship is between those two characters and what Sora's relationship is with the group. She's, as early as this episode, she's pretty much like the older sister, mother hen of the group. Kabuterimon's Electroshocker. I think that has to be another S tier for me. I'm just going to be repeating myself a lot here. Another good episode. Izzy's a great character. While we don't learn more about it until much later, we also get a little bit of what's the right way of saying it? We get a little bit of backstory on Izzy at a younger age that we don't really learn much of during the episode, but it's pretty significant to Izzy's character. So I feel like if this was an anime that was coming out today, and when this episode would release, there would be people talking about it, saying, "Oh, what is this mysterious thing about Izzy and his parents? What is these parents hiding from him?" Let's see, Togemon in Toy Town. So I said this in the character tier list I made for Digimon Adventure. I didn't like Mimi as a kid. As a kid, Mimi I just didn't like. So even when an episode focused on her, I was like, oh, this is boring, this is lame. If I was a kid, I would probably put this in F tier or C tier. Fortunately though, I'm older now, and I appreciate Mimi just as much as I appreciate the other characters from this series. So that's another A tier for me. I do like the boxing match between the cactus and the teddy bear. Ikakumon's Harpoon Torpedo. I'll put that one in A. I think A is fine for that one. Evil Shows Its Face. That's our first proper episode with Devimon. We get introduced to Leomon and Ogremon. And yeah, it has one of my favourite sequences from the series as well. When the kids find the mansion, they feel like it's like a safe house basically. And then at the end of the episode, it's revealed that Devimon just faked pretty much all of it. It was all mostly an illusion. So yeah, I would say it's a good episode. It's a really strong episode. I love these episodes so much. These are original episodes with Devimon. I've got the strongest nostalgia for, but I'm not going to put all of them in S tier, I swear. Sub-Zero Ice Punch. Speaking of S tier though, I think that's in S tier. I really like this episode. That's it. I feel like I'm just going to be saying that a lot, considering I've got a lot of episodes to talk about as well. A Clue from the Digipass is another S tier for me. I think I would say I prefer this one, Sub-Zero Ice Punch with Tai and Matt, but this episode with Izzy and Mimi and getting trapped in the maze with Centaurimon, we learn more about the Digivice, even though in the dub the characters already referred to it as a Digivice. This is the episode where they learn it's called a Digivice, I'm pretty sure. So we get a little bit of a story stuff progression in this episode as well. The Dancing Digimon is another S tier. I might as well just lump these all together. Actually, I say that Digi Baby Boom is not S tier. We'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, Dancing Digimon, I remember it creeping me out a bit when I was younger with the ghost, the Buckamon. Nothing crazy, but again, I watched the show when I was a child, so there was some scary moments in this show for me as a kid. Digi Baby Boom. It's not a bad episode. It's not, but I don't really care for it. I feel like there'll be a lot of slander for the TK and Patamon fans out there, but I'm gonna put it in B. It does the job. It's still fine. It's still watchable. I don't think it's like ugh. I think part of it is because as I've gotten older, TK has become my least favourite character from Adventure 1. Like out of the main Digi-Destined for the series, TK is my least favourite these days. So, yeah. But speaking of that though, TK and Patamon are pretty good in this episode. The Legend of the Digi-Destined episode in general is just great in my opinion. We have the epic climatic battle against Devimon. Leomon tries and help. We wrap up stuff with Ogremon for the most part. And yeah, Devimon, I think overall was a good, decent antagonist at the start of the series. So it was satisfying to see him get defeated by the heroes. Departures for a New Continent. So this is where changes are made. We've got the introduction of Geni. We have the kids having to prepare to basically leave Fire Island to head to the continent of Server and to look for their Tags and crest. Admittedly though, not much really happens in this episode. Like, it's just the kids preparing for their next adventure pretty much. We get introduced to Waymon. Waymon's a cool Digimon. You know what? No, I'll put it in A. I'll put it in A. It's fine. The Dark Network of Etamon. A. Etamon is quite the shift from antagonists, isn't it? We go from basically a devil to Elvis. Quite the jump, quite the leap. But Etamon is an entertaining villain, I can't lie. He's a very entertaining villain. And it's not like he's not threatening either. He's an ultimate level, he's dangerous. And the episode ends on Tai getting his crest, the crest of courage. And that's when this episode comes in, the arrival of Skull Greymon, probably one of the scariest episodes of the show. When I was editing a video I recently made for the same channel that this will be uploaded on, I was taking screenshots for Skull Greymon for the video, and I was like, damn, this thing's even more creepier than I remembered. I've just never stopped to just look at a picture of Skull Greymon and thought, yeah, that's the Digimon. I would put this in S. It really sets up a lot of stuff for Tai and Agumon. It highlights how fucked up a Digimon can go, a Digivolution can go, sorry. It's a shame, though. I feel like we could have had at least one other appearance of Skull Greymon in the series, personally. The Crest of Sincerity. Bit of a chill episode. Characters get to kind of recover from what happened last time. Mimi gets her crest in a very weird way, and again the dub kind of messes up because she knows what it is even though she's not supposed to. Yeah, but I'll put this one in A. Piximon. Okay, I think we have our first C tier. I've never cared for this episode. I always felt like this was a weak episode. I don't hate Piximon. I don't hate I don't hate the episode at all. I think the episode's fine. It serves its purpose. It gives us some more character development for Tai and Agumon especially. We do have some comedic scenes with Tentomon and Gomamon regarding Piximon and what he's getting them to do as part of their training. Pretty sure he just wanted someone to do his chores. And yeah, it's not a bad episode at all, but I've never cared for this one. I never cared about it. The prisoner of the pyramid. So that's when we're introduced to Datamon. I think we got another A tier here. Some pretty intense stuff happens during this episode. This is the point where Tai basically thinks he's in a video game, and if anything bad happens to him, what does it matter? But obviously he realised that, no, Tai, if something bad happens to you here, you're fucked. I think this is this the episode that also has the weird voice line in the dub of some random girl talking? I think it's this one. I think it was this one, yeah. I think this is also the one where in the English dub, Tai is briefly voiced by Izzy's actress. I don't know what happened there, but whatever. But yeah, good episode. And speaking of a good episode, the Earthquake of Metal Greymon, I think we got another S tier here, guys. I think that is another S tier, in my personal opinion. We get Metal Greymon fighting Etamon. I would say the only thing, I wouldn't say it's bad, but I feel like the potential was there to make it into something different. Sora gets cloned. Datamon makes a clone of Sora, and nothing comes of it. Datamon just deletes it when he feels like it's useless after Sora's freed and rescued. But I don't know, I feel like could have had some fun with that. In an alternate timeline, this other Sora clone, even if she wasn't with Datamon, could have just left the pyramid or somehow escaped and then showed up later on as a potential antagonist. I don't know. I feel like that's entering fan fiction territory, so I won't go too much into it. But yeah, it's a good episode. Now, Home Away from Home is probably the most unique / different episode in Digimon Adventure. Everything about it is just so different. It feels like I'm watching a completely different show when I'm watching this episode. But we get introduced to Kari. Kari's one of my favourite characters. We still have some interesting stuff about the story or like the lore and whatnot. Like the reveal that Tai, when he's back home in the real world, he's back on the same day he first was sent to the digital world. So this is the episode where we kind of learn that time flows differently. We get a weird message from Izzy as well in this episode. That's kind of like messed up. And the episode ends on a tease that Kari's going to be a Digidestined. So yeah, overall I think this is another S tier. So many S tiers, my god. It's as if this is a good show or something. Or am I just being nostalgic? I think it's a bit of both. Forget about it. I'll give this one a B. Yeah, I think a B is a good one for that. Worgarumon's Diner. I'll give it an A. Some good stuff with Matt. Some good stuff with Joe as well. The only thing that sucks about this episode is that in the English dub, it introduces us to Hey Digimon. Fucking hate that song. And I wouldn't, let me just say this now, I wouldn't hate it so much if they didn't constantly use it. Like, why was it the only song they used in the dub? Why couldn't they use anything else, even if it was another cheesy song with lyrics? I probably wouldn't hate the song that much if it wasn't played in pretty much every episode since it was introduced. Like, it was introduced in this episode, and I think it plays in almost every episode since then up until maybe here, Enter the Dark Masters. And that's when the song stops being used, at least like on a consistent basis. It still shows up. I know it plays in other episodes after it. But basically, during the Myotismon arc, as it were, I'm pretty certain this song plays in every single freaking episode, and I hate it. No questions, please. I think that's another A tier for me. Mega Kabuterimon is really cool. Vadermon is very weird. And he gets what he deserves. Princess Karaoke. Again, it really shows how much has changed from when I was younger watching this. Again, a Mimi focused episode. Probably would be either here or here. But now, I would say this is an S tier episode. I love this episode now. At an older age, this is a great episode in my opinion. I think it's really good stuff, and I don't fully blame Mimi for what she does in the episode either. At this point in the story, she has no idea if she's ever going to make it back home, so might as well make the best of it. She's found a castle, Digimon who are willing to do whatever she wants. Might as well live large and in charge, right? Sora's Crest of Love. It's a pretty good Sora focused episode, but as a whole, I wouldn't say it's like anything grand. I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B. Still a good episode. The Gateway to Home. Another B. I don't care too much for this one. We get some stuff with Geni, so that's pretty cool. It's all in the cards. Give it an A. Give you an A. Return to Heighten View Terrace. We get a lot of backstory here, don't we? This is the episode where they realise they've seen Greymon before fight Parrotmon when they were younger. I'll give this one an A too. Almost Home free. Okay, so now I'm a little bit... As much as I love this series, even though I made this tier list myself, so I went through the effort to get all these screenshots, I don't really remember this episode. So just in case, we've got the wiki. So what episode is it? Almost Home free. So we've got to scroll all the way down. Da, 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 da. Ah, of course. Another A. Another A. There's some funny stuff in this episode. Such as Joe and Izzy being ditched by the others when they want to get something to eat. Oh, and that's when we also meet Sora's cousin, right? Yeah, that's also the episode where we meet Sora's cousin, which wasn't the case in the original. That was a dub thing. Yeah, I really don't know why I bothered with this, because the mic has really covered my tag and crest the whole freaking time. I'm just gonna have to have it be awkwardly like this then. But eventually it's gonna fall down again. Oh, there we go, just choke myself a bit. Harder. What? Who said that? The 8th Digivice. I'll give it a B. I don't have much to say for this one, but again, I don't think it's bad at all. And I think it shouldn't be C. I don't think it should be C. It's still got its enjoyable moments with Izzy and Tentomon and Izzy's parents. Is this the episode where we also learn about it? Was it this episode where we have the flashback again and we learn that Izzy's parents aren't actually his parents? I think it was this episode, or it's later on. Either way, we get some more stuff from that. Gatomon comes calling. So this is where Gatomon and Kari first meet. And I believe this was the one where the kids were looking for the 8th Digivice, the 8th Digidestined, and they come across Skull Meramon, yeah? The stuff with Kari and Gatomon's pretty good, but I'll give it a B. Out on the town. I need a brief reminder for that one. Oh, it's with... Okay. Gotsumon and Pumpkinmon, yeah. This is pretty good. In the dub, they tried to insist that Myotismon somehow send them to a dungeon in the digital world. Bullshit, they were killed. Myotismon killed them, they're dead. But yeah, it's a good episode for Matt and TK. I like it a lot. The 8th child revealed. I mean, who'd have thought it would have been Kari? I'll give it an A. This is probably the first episode where Wizardmon really gets to shine as a character. And we learn more about his backstory with Gatomon and the fact that Gatomon has been waiting for so long, and turns out she was waiting for Kari. Who knew? Flower Power. Yeah, I would say this is an S tier one. There's a lot going on in this episode. It's pretty chaotic, but in a good way, you know what I mean? Myotismon's fogged up the town. Digimon are attacking and kidnapping people and kids. The group is separated. They've got to just figure it out as they go along. And we get Lilymon at the end. City Under Siege. I don't think it's as good as this episode, so I'll put it in A tier. Still a good episode though. Wizardmon's Gift. Yeah, S tier. Another S tier. A proper fight with Myotismon. The gang is finally together. We get Gatomon digivolving for the first time into Angelomon. I wonder... What was my reaction to that when I was a kid? I wish I could remember. Prophecy. I'll give it an A. And Battle of Earth is also... I don't know though. Because here's the thing, right? Funny enough for this episode, so this is like the big climactic end for Myotismon, right? But to be honest, my favourite part of this episode is after that. And it's about the kids thinking that it's all over, just to then realise that, oh shit, in the sky is the digital world. Time has passed. Shit's fucked. I kind of enjoy that part of the episode more, so I'll put it in S still, but I prefer that part of the episode where my oldest one's already gone. He's defeated. The kids think it's over. The digital world is now in the sky, and they realise that they've got to go back. Enter the Dark Masters. A tier. Yeah, we'll give it an A. We're introduced to, well, the Dark Masters. They have a pretty cool introduction, I feel. The episode as a whole is pretty good. I don't think it's S tier quality, but it's still a good one. Seasick and Tired. Probably a B for that one. Yeah, there's not much. I don't have much to say about that one. I'll give it a B. Under Pressure. We finally get Waymon back. Waymon's great. Waymon is one of the best allies in Digimon Adventure. I'll give this one an A. And then Playing Games. So Metal Seedramon's defeated. Waymon's killed. And then the kids have to deal with Puppetmon while also having a little bit of conflict within the group. Again, mostly between Tai and Matt. I'll give this one an S tier. Trash Day, S tier. Again, Matt's my favourite character, so needless to say, especially as I got older and decided that Matt was my favourite character, yeah, Trash Day is a great episode. Not even just because of the stuff with Matt and his inner conflict, if you will. Even the smaller stuff. Like, I think this is the episode where Mimi has a really badass moment where she catches some sludge and she's just like, no, I'm not running. Let them do the running for a change. It's a short moment, but it's pretty funny and I like it. The Ultimate Clash. So, big fight. Matt's been... the worst side of Matt is on the prowl. Cherrymon's manipulated him and Matt has just allowed his emotions to get the better of him. So he's attacked the group, but fortunately, this is also the episode where Lore Dump is dropped. So the fighting is put to a stop, and we have a lot of backstory. We learn a lot of stuff about Genai, about the 8 Digivices and the Digimon when they were eggs. Piedmon was the one that was attacking. He puts a weird black thing, ball spear thing in Genai's neck. Nothing really comes from that, does it? Even with Adventure 2, nothing really comes of it. At least nothing I can remember. I'll give it an S. It's a pretty important episode. It's probably one of the most important episodes of the series. Etamon's Comeback Tour, S. And Ogumon's Honor is also S. Just, yeah, I love the stuff with Leomon, Ogumon. Even Metal Etamon returning is good stuff. And I like how Metal Etamon also fights Puppetmon. And I like to think that if he did if the other Dark Masters showed up, Metal Etamon would also have a jab at them. It's always fun to see villains fighting other villains. So yeah, these two are really good episodes. Leomon's killed for the first time in the series. I would say the only thing that sucks is that Leomon doesn't get to reunite with the rest of the kids. Hell, I remember I had this realization when I was watching it. Digimon Try is the first on-screen appearance, or like the first time on screen where Kari and Leomon are together. Kari never met Leomon in Adventure 1, and I'll probably talk about this if I stream a tier list of the Adventure 2 episode. For some reason, Leomon and Ogumon, for that matter, don't appear in Adventure 2 either. So Kari never got to meet them during Season 2. So her first time seeing the character, the first time we as an audience see on screen both Kari and Leomon, and Gatomon for that matter, is during Try, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. But that's how it went. That's how it goes. So that kind of sucks, but still, the episode itself, these episodes together are great. So, yeah. And I also like how Ogumon isn't really a villain anymore either. That's good too. My Sister's Keeper, another S tier. What a great episode in my opinion. Some dark stuff, some dodgy stuff in the episode. Poor Kari gets sick. We learn that she almost died when she was younger. Very alarming considering she's one of the youngest already. And this episode really, really challenges Tai a lot. And yeah, I love it. I liked it when I was a kid, but as I got older, I grew to appreciate this episode even more. So probably for its, you know, darker themes and just the story about a brother who wants to protect his younger sister who's sick in a completely different world where freaking monsters are around. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. The Crest of Light, pretty much the follow-up. Machine Dramon's defeated. Andromon makes a return. I didn't mention him earlier, but Andromon returns. I'll give it... yeah, this is another S. Kari gets better, which is always good. Oh, and yeah, how could I forget also? Kari becomes a queen. She's Queen Kari of the Numemon. Good stuff, good stuff. Joe's battle... Well, someone doesn't like the episode. Car alarm's gone off. I'll give it an A. Oh, I'll close the window. I don't know how loud that is, but just to be... If someone's stealing a car right now, it's pretty rude because I'm busy streaming. The Crest of Friendship is another Matt-focused episode, and that automatically makes me love it. Gubumon's also a great Digimon / character in this one too. Gabumon is also one of my favorite Digimon in the series already, so yeah. And I mentioned this in a video I made recently as well. I like to theorize that in this episode Matt was very close, and Sora for that matter. Both characters were very close to entering the Dark Ocean. Now, I know that wasn't really a thing in Adventure 1, but in my head canon, I like to theorize that. The Dark Ocean almost... Or like Matt and Sora almost ended up in the Dark Ocean in this episode. Piedmon's Last Jest. This is scary. This is generally a scary episode, thinking about what happens here. So remember, not everyone's here yet. Some characters are still missing, but the majority are here to fight Piedmon. We have our top players, Wargreymon and Metal Garurumon. Piedmon immediately takes care of them. He turns them into keychains. I think this is legitimately a scary episode when you really think about what Piedmon does, and the fact that it happens over time, like he's picking them off one by one. Wargreymon and Metal Garurumon are turned into keychains. Then he does the same to Tai and Matt. Then slowly but surely all the other characters do. I think the scariest part, well not... yeah, I would say the scariest part was when it was just Sora, Gomamon, TK, Patamon and Kari and left. Yeah, no, not Gatomon. Gatomon's already gone too. So, Sora and Gomamon are the only two left, with TK and Kari and Patamon as well. Sora tries to stay behind just to give the others some time to run. Gomamon doesn't want to leave her alone. Those two get turned into keychains. Patamon Digirosa Angemon does his best, but, well, yeah. And then Piedmon almost gets TK and Kari as well. And Kari's terrified, understandably. Like, this is a scary episode. I would say this... It's S tier, by the way, if I haven't made that clear. I think this is a good episode. This might be the scariest episode in Digimon Adventure, or at least this season 1. Maybe at first glance it doesn't look like it because it's keychains and what have you, but what Piedmon does and the way he does it, he's probably one of the scariest antagonists in Digimon Adventure. And it just makes the episode overall this disturbing, creepy vibe while you're watching it, especially if you're a kid, I imagine. But even as I've gotten older, like every time I rewatch Adventure, I'm like, damn, this is actually pretty scary. I know it's going to work out okay, but the way it plays out, this episode does a great job of just showing how terrifying Piedmon can be. And yeah, now Apocalypmon. Even though he was this one's kind of weird, ain't it? Because technically Apocalypse has been about this entire time. We just never saw him. I do have mixed feelings about it. My nostalgia for the final episode is definitely going to affect that one, I won't lie. But I'm not... Now Apocalypse, I think the highest it should be is A. We get introduced to a new villain. The fact that he has powers from the previous antagonist is pretty cool and scary and intimidating. But I don't think this is an S tier episode. What is an S tier episode though? The Fate of Two Worlds. Final climatic battle against Apocalypse. All the kids from the previous episode leading into this one all realise how far they've come. Pokemon's defeated, and then we have a really emotional second half of the episode, where it's the kids. First it's a celebration, then it's the realization that the digital world and real world is going to be synced up now, so time will flow at the same rate for both of them. And then they get told by Jedi that, oh, they don't even have that much time. They don't even have like weeks to enjoy the rest of their summer vacation. Right? Now they've got a time limit. They've got to go. They've got less than a day to leave. And we have this really good, I really do love it, legitimately emotional scene with each kid and their Digimon saying goodbye. I think some of the highlights for me has to be Izzy and Tentamon's goodbye. Kari and Gatamon's goodbye is very wholesome and sweet. I like Sora and Biyomon as well. And yeah, Gabumon and Matt's pretty nice too. Just no words, not really saying anything. And Gabumon's like, "Can you know, I wouldn't mind listening to your music one last time." And yeah, it ends with the kids saying goodbye. And even, yeah, I think that's it. That's all I have to say. And a very well final episode. A very good emotional final episode. And with that, that's going to wrap up the tier list. No Fs. Good. How it should be. Even if you don't agree with my tier list here, I think we can at least all agree that no episode from Adventure 1 deserves to be an F tier. There's not a single, like, just thumbs down, really bad episode in Adventure. So, yeah. Okay, didn't last as long as I thought. That's a good thing though, because it just means it'll give me more time to do other shit. The channel I'm uploading this stream on hasn't been that active in a while. Hopefully that's going to change in the future, so more videos, more content, more streams, more video discussions, whatever I can think of. But that's going to wrap it up. I am going to just leave it here. I think I will definitely do this again for Adventure 2. And I'm thinking maybe even Tamers, because I really like Tamers as well. So, yeah, that's it. See you for the next tier list, whether it be the Adventure 2 episode or something else. And yeah, let's wrap up here. Consult.